Hello class, now we meet again on this occasion to talk about English language testing. Okay, what is English language testing? English language testing is a test, okay, that you give to your students to measure their understanding, their capacity for one subject, for one material. So, English language testing related with English subject. As you know that English generally consists of four skills: writing, speaking, reading, and listening. So, how to design, how to make, how to analyze, how to reflect, and how to evaluate by understanding, by getting the student scores after they join a test. So, for example, if you are going to test your students for speaking subject, it means there are some requirements, there are some aspects you should be able to understand and then test your students. For example, for speaking, you must be able to measure the pronunciations, the pronunciations, and then stress, and then dialect, and etc., and many more related to speaking skills. And the next one for reading comprehensions. Okay, reading comprehensions is a comprehension for a reader to understand about the contents of a text. So for reading comprehensions, a good test or the appropriate ones to teach or to measure the understanding of your students is by designing the test. For examples, by multiple choice, one examples. And the next one is for listening comprehensions. Listening comprehensions is an activity, okay, to understand the contents of a listening sections. For example, there is a song, okay, sung by a singer, and then you must be able to understand what is the message of a song. And it could be appropriate to give the test into multiple choice, essay, and etc. And how about for writing? Okay, writings, for example, generally it could be designed into multiple choice, into essay, and etc. So, related to English language testings, okay, language testing, the first one, you must be able to design, okay, to design your test. To whom? And then how to design, and then how about the contents? Oh, after getting the score, how to analyze, how to put the data, and then you must be able to understand about your subject. So, designing a good test, designing a good result for your students is by understanding all your needs, all your students' needs. So a good test, okay, is designed by understanding all the aspects on your students' capacity. So related to your students' test, validity is one of the requirements to design your test, your test. So if your test is not valid, okay, so it is not very appropriate for you to give the score or to measure your students. So your test must be valid. And the next one is by scoring. Okay, how to score? I think this is an activity for teacher or lecturer, how to understand, how to give score. What is score? Score is a science. Score is a identity. Score is steps to understand about your students for what? Your students' achievement. So by giving them a score, you must be able to know their understanding, their progress from the start of meeting, from the first meeting until mid-test and in the end of the meeting or final test. So this score is a reflection how to evaluate your students, how to evaluate yourself. So if your students fail, it means that it depends on your professionalism. Okay, is it from yourself? Is it your techniques, or is it your students' capacity? And the next one is about administrations. Okay, administrations. After you score your students is by conducting the administration. This score can be put into the paper, into the system, into the website, etc. It depends on the institutions. And how about the quality? The quality of your test depends on your good understanding of your environment from your class. So you must be able to understand all the conditions. Okay, so if you teach from the chapter 1, chapter 2 until maybe chapter 7, so all the tasks, so there is a separation. For example, if you give a task for first meeting, okay, so it concludes, okay, it concludes, or the scopes of your task is from the chapter 1. So this is a good system in understanding the text, and after knowing the results, you will be able to understand about how to design, how to teach, and how to score your students. Okay, and the next one is about fairness. Is it your score fair or not? Why? Because sometimes this is about the system, this is about the regulations in our institutions, how to score. As you know that in the English language testing, okay, there are some requirements you must be able to understand. Why? Because in the English language testing, okay, this is a test. Okay, how to test? Is it appropriate to teach to test speaking? So for speaking subjects, I think it is not appropriate for you if you give writing test. Your instrument is into the written test, but this is must be into the spoken language. So when they are talking about something, for example, you invite them to discuss about or maybe to deliver a subject, and the topic is about maybe the speech. So into the speech, there are some requirements for you to score. Maybe this is about the materials, the pronunciations, grammar, and then the media, and etc. But generally into the speaking subject, this is about activity, how to know more about the pronunciations, about the stress, about the length, about dialect, and many more, because there are many requirements for you if you want to test the speaking. I think for me, especially for me personally, testing speaking is not very easy for me. I think it is easier for me to teach or maybe to test the reading comprehensions, writings. Yeah, generally for myself, I think there are two skills, okay, hard for me to understand this, or maybe to design the to design the task. Maybe for listening comprehensions, I will take from the international level of the source of the learning process, and the next one maybe, yeah, I just copy from the internet and then give the students. Yeah, it could be from the basic level until the intermediate level or advanced. So in the English language testing, there are many requirements we should be able to understand. Why? Because this is about how to make your test is good. Okay, listen to me. How to make your test is good. So by scoping, okay, by scoping all your students' needs, this test will be good. This test is effective. How to design? For example, there is a materials, and you should be able to test your students. Have they understood or not? So do they get do they understand about the topic? So in the English language testing, so this is an activity. Okay, this is an activity from the planning. Okay, the planning and then your actions. Okay, teaching, and the next one is to teach them, to test them, and then gathering the results, and then analyze reflections, and etc. So there are many steps in understanding your students' understandings or achievement. You would like to test, for example, to teach like narrative text. Okay, so there are some aspects in the narrative text. So it could be undertaken into the written text. And then learning about the grammar. Okay, learning about the grammar, I think is very general, because there are many aspects in the English grammar. Why? For example, if you are teaching parts of speech, okay, parts of speech, or parts of speech can be divided into 8 or maybe 9 aspects. So one by one, so your test must scope the materials, not from the others. Okay, so it will be valid, it will be reliable, it will be good. Why? Because they can understand before they join the English language testing, a test. Okay, they must be able to understand from the chapter 1 until to the chapter 1. So English language testings, okay, basically this is an activity for us as an English teacher, as an English lecturer, how to understand about our progress in teaching many subjects. For instance, if I'm talking about, if I'm teaching listening comprehensions, okay, every meeting it has the topic. Every meeting it has the different topic. So first meeting, our topic may be how to understanding a song, and the second one may be how to understand about the conversations, and the next one, the third one, how to understand about the report. So every meeting has different topic for listening comprehension. So how to test them? Have they understood or not? For example, we test them into the written test. So by understanding, we can invite them. They can write down, they can speak up, and etc. So I think to teach English language testings, okay, there must be good understanding for us how to design. Started from the designing our materials, and then if we are going to teach or to design our materials to test your students' achievement, okay, is by understanding, by writing down the test, the written test or the spoken test. Okay, you put into the paper and then understands your students' understanding. I think that's all for today. Hopefully you can understand about this simple explanation for English language testings. Okay, we can see at another video. Thank you.